Hello mga cognizants, we are on the last topic under crime against national security and law of the nation. But I will include on my next discussion about RA 6532 on anti-hijacking in order for us to differentiate between piracy, between mutiny, and between PD 532. Now, let us proceed on the discussion about piracy, about mutiny, and about PD 532. How it differs to one another. When does a person committed these crimes provided under Article 122, and also we have also 123, the so-called qualified piracy. Who are those persons are considered liable under this crime, and when does person committed under these felonies provided under Article 122 of the Revised Penal Code. Now, let us discuss about piracy. What are the elements for the crime of piracy? Of course, the vessel is on high seas or on Philippine waters. Before, under Article 122, this piracy is committed only on high seas. Remember this piracy is committed provided under the Revised Penal Code under Article 122. I want to emphasize this because there is the difference between PD 532 and Article 122 of the Revised Penal Code. Muna akong i-emphasize ninyo. Article 122 of the Revised Penal Code. Klaro ta ha? Please follow para magkasabot ta. Ha? Because there is some ato ang bantayanan when we talk of piracy under Article 122 of the Revised Penal Code and piracy under PD 532. Now, kumingon ta og kini ang elements of piracy under Article 122 that the vessel is on high seas or in Philippine waters. Di man niya high seas on or in Philippine waters. Before, akong ipasabot ninyo sa una, ang 122 makomit lang na siya nimo on high seas. But because of Republic Act 7659 na nahitabo nga pwedeng makomit siya on Philippine waters. Lain na ang mingon ta og high seas because when you talk of high seas, it is owned by kaning no one mingon tag high seas. Ang Philippine waters is within na siya sa gitawag nato nga archipelagic waters or within the national territory. Within the national territory as defined the 1973 Philippine Constitution. Because under 1987 Philippine Constitution, there is already some changes on the definition of the national territory. As long as naata sa national territory, meaning Philippine waters. Philippine waters. Timani, I hope you will follow. Please follow my discussion. Second, offenders are neither members of the complement nor passengers of the vessel. Klaro ta sa paragraph 2, offenders are neither members of its complement nor passengers of the vessel. Neither meaning dili. Dili meaning stranger. Kana mga strangers ayaw mo pagtuan na kay masakitan ra mo. Strangers, timani. Strangers ang atong gistoryahan sa Article 122. Timani Article 122 talks about strangers. Strangers diha ang offender. Si offender either iyan ning gihimo bisan asa ani attack or seize a vessel on high seas or in Philippine waters. B. Seize in the vessel while on high seas or in Philippine waters, the whole or in part of its cargo, its equipment, personal belongings of its complement, passengers, and of course, there is intent to gain. Kung ato siyang tanahon, the elements for the crime of piracy is the same or it is akin to a crime of robbery as defined under the crime against property. Di ba, mingon taog crime of robbery, there is, naagitawag nato nga intent to gain or animus lucrandi. That property belonging to another, that person take the property without the consent of the owner. And of course, mingon ta nga naay force, threat, or intimidation para maingon nga there is robbery. The same with this, in the crime of piracy is nakay intent to gain. But the difference here is that it is committed within the vessel. Committed siya sa vessel. Attack or seize a vessel on high seas and in Philippine waters or seize the vessel while on high seas or Philippine waters the whole or part of its cargo. Di ba niya, kinsa ni commit? Kumiuntag PD 122, I mean Article 122 of the Revised Penal Code. Please remember sa mga kaila ninyo, ay di day kaila, sa inyohang mga masugatan ng mga stranger, mauna siya atong timanan kung mo-apply ta og 122 sa piracy. 122 piracy, isod sa hunahuna, place of commission of the crime, high seas or Philippine waters, but most of the time sa high seas dyan siya makomit. Timan niya, kay nag-abot ito sa PD 532, mayon na nga maglibog if you cannot understand or if you will not understand based on my discussion on this Article 122. But if makasabot na mo sa 122, then sisir na ninyo ang PD 532. Now let us proceed. On the elements or mutiny when committed when, or when does the crime of mutiny committed? First, the vessel is either on high seas or on Philippine waters. Di ba niya? The vessel is either on high seas or on Philippine waters. The same true with the unsaman, pareha sa piracy. Sa iyahang place of commission of the crime or ang imuhang venue where the crime was committed. Second, the offenders are members of the complement or passengers of the vessel. Ganiya, ang atong istoryahan sa 122 is neither members of the complement or passengers of the vessel, meaning to say stranger, meaning to say outsider. Now, on the crime of mutiny, kinsa man siya, members of the complement or passengers of the vessel, meaning to say insider. Insider siya para ma-consider nato siya nga offenders in the crime of mutiny. Now, unsa ang iyang criminal act? Ang iyang criminal act, the offender raise a commotion or disturbance on the board of the ship against the lawful command of the captain or commander-in-chief. Kuha, say for example, ni command si captain, mo ni dili ta mo biyahe karon or else muhulong ta, it's because na ibagyo nga padong. Now nisupak ang mga crew, nisupak sila. So sa ilahang pagsupak, ang nahitabo, ilahang say for example gipusasan or gihigot ang captain niya, ang mga crew members na ang nagpadagan, ilaging gipadayon ang biyahe, although niingon bisan pa, bisag niingon na si captain nga dili lagi kay tungod na ipadung nga bagyo, ilaging gipabiyahe. Now there is a crime of mutiny. Why? Because there is a commotion. Because of that lawful command by the captain. Ngayang gihimo, wala mo sunod ang mga members of the crew or crew members or members of the complement. Klaro ta, kini siya, di ba, diyo ko ganiha, sa piracy is the same or akin to the crime of robbery. But on this mutiny, it is the same as to the crime of sedition, where they raise a commotion against a lawful authority. Kini lang is nahitabo sa vessel. Nahitabo sa vessel. Timan niya, nahitabo sa vessel. Para matima to ang different between mutiny, piracy, and PD 532. Now, let us proceed. I hope you understand the difference between mutiny and piracy. Okay, let us have an illustration. The vessel is on the sea going to Mindoro. So while the ship is on its way to Mindoro, suddenly there comes a big storm. The commander or captain of the ship said that they should first move towards the shore and let the storms come in order to ensure the safety of the passengers of the vessel. The passengers of the vessel and members of the complement didn't want the decision of the said captain of the ship, and so they seized the captain of the ship and manned the vessel until they reached Mindoro. What crime, if any, is committed by these members of the complement and passengers of the vessel? Based on the facts, it is very clear based on my discussion nga they raise a commotion about the lawful command of the captain. So, klaro ta, answer, they are liable of mutiny. The vessel is on Philippine waters, klaro ta, place of commission. The offenders are members of the complement. Those offenders who committed the crime, di ba? Ningon ta, either, wakuningog neither, meaning either members of the complement or passengers of the vessel. Nakakommit ang members of the complement and they go against the lawful authority of the captain of the ship. Therefore, they are liable of mutiny. Klaro, nasabtan ang mutiny. So, another illustration. While a vessel is on Philippine waters, here comes a second vessel. 4 men from the second vessel boarded the first vessel and at a gunpoint took the cargo, gikuha, and equipment of the said vessel. Placed them in the second vessel and off they went. What crime is committed by these 4 men? Atong tanawon, kisa man yung 4 men, dili ni E4 ha. Oy, 4 men, gikan siya sa second vessel. Ang ilang gikawatan is the first vessel. Meaning, they are strangers. Why? Because they are not members or they are not passengers of the first vessel. Unsay gihimo? Unsay gihimo? Nanguha. Took the cargo and equipment of the said vessel. Is there equivalent to a commotion? The answer is no. So kay dili man siya commotion and dili sad siya member of the vessel or passengers thereof, dili ka pwede mo-apply og mutiny. Now, let us have an answer. They are liable of piracy under Article 122. The vessel is on Philippine waters. Klaro ta? The vessel is on Philippine waters. The offenders are not members of the complement or passengers of the ship. They seized the cargo and equipment of the vessel. Therefore, it is piracy under Article 122. Klaro ta? Article 122 ang ato ang i-apply nga naman, they are not members of the complement, meaning they are stranger. Tima niya, stranger. Unsay ang gihimo? They took the cargo and equipment of the vessel. Unlike ganiya sa mutiny, ang iyang gihimo is wala siya intent to gain. Unsay iyang purpose? To raise commotion against the lawful command of the captain or against the lawful command of the competent authority. And as to the offender, kinsa ang nag-commit? Kuminguntag mutiny. Ang ni-commit sa mutiny, balik ko na ako, members of the complement or passengers of the vessel. While aritag piracy under Article 122, they are not members or passengers of the vessel, but they are considered strangers. Based on the facts that I have been mentioned, gikan siya sa second vessel, ning sud sa first vessel, nanguha didtog mga butang nga mga equipment nga sulod sa vessel or sa cargo nga ilahang gikuha, meaning there was an intent to gain. There was an intent to gain committed on high seas. I mean Philippine waters committed on the vessel. Therefore, the crime committed was piracy under Article 122 of the Revised Penal Code. So I hope you understand between piracy and between mutiny. If you have some questions, you can comment down below or you can make a private message to me. Okay, let us proceed. Another illustration. The vessel is on Philippine waters. While the vessel is on Philippine waters, the members of the complement and passengers of the said vessel in conspiracy with one another took the cargo and equipment of the vessel and then they went, boarded a second vessel and off they went. What crime is committed by members of the complement and passengers of the vessel? So now, nanatay murag ma-illustrate na nato karon ang gitawag nato nga Presidential Decree 532. Atong tanawon ganiya sa piracy under Article 122, ang mo commit kay stranger. Asa pwede buhaton? Pwede ma-commit on high seas and on Philippine waters. Kini sa nga example karon, nga pangutana, gitok niya or gikuha niya ang cargo or nanguha siya cargo or equipment on the vessel, gikuha. Pero kinsay nanguha? Members of the complement and passengers of the vessel. Atong klaron, ang piracy sa 122, kinsay mo commit? Si stranger. Kini, kinsay ning commit ani? Members of the complement. Members of the complement man, mingon ka ay mutiny siguro ni kay members of the complement man. Question kung mingon kag mutiny. Is in mutiny there is an intent to gain? The answer is no. Wala kay intent to gain sa mutiny. Why? Because the main element, kung mingon ka og mutiny, is they raise a commotion. Muna siya gitawag na ito criminal acts. They raise a commotion against the lawful command of the lawful authority. Nga niwa may lawful command from the lawful authority. Unsa iyahang intent, gikuha niya ang butang nga dili iyaha ngadto sa vessel. Therefore, mauna ning panahon na you will apply the so-called PD 532. Nakuha? Answer. The members of the complement and passengers of the vessel committed acts of piracy because this says the whole or in part of the cargo or equipment, but not piracy under Article 122 Because in Article 122, it is a requisite that the offenders must be a strangers to the vessel. Here, the offenders are members of the complement and passengers of the vessel. So, the crime committed is piracy but under Presidential Decree 532. Kuha, nasabtan ha? Now, atong tapak-tapakon. Kung yung piracy under Article 122, kinsay offender? Stranger. Kung yung piracy 532, kinsay offender? Members of the vessel or passengers thereof. Pwede siya insider, pwede siya outsider. Place of commission. Now, ano sa place of commission? Kung yung Presidential Decree 532, makomit lang na siya on Philippine waters. Kung mayroon ka og Article 122, asa makomit? Place of commission, makomit na siya on high seas and on Philippine waters. Here is one discussion provided by Judge Marlo Campanilla based on the criminal acts daw between the 532 and between ni 122. According to Judge Marlo Campanilla, nga kung pananglitan daw ang gihimo is 532, kinahanglan daw gitawag natong there is force, threat or intimidation. Example, there is breaking of walls, there is breaking of windows pagsulod niya or sa pag-exit niya, sa pagkuha niya. So meaning there is force, threat or intimidation nga nahitabo. Kung mingon taog 532. But kung mingon tag 122, silent ang 122 whether or not there was force or intimidation committed during the time of seizing the property of the vessel. So muna imong timan-an sad, That is according to Judge Marlo Campanilla on his book nga gi-publish on Criminal Law Book to Reviewer. So muna yung timan-an, Muna yung timan-an sa offender, place of commission o criminal acts. Now let us proceed. Anti-piracy and anti-robbery law of 1974. Under PD 532, the piracy is committed by attacking or seizing the vessel or seizing in whole or in part of the cargo, equipment or personal belongings of the members of the complement or passengers of the vessel, irrespective of the value thereof, committed by means of force and violence and committed by any person, whether he be a member of the complement or passenger of the vessel or strangers to the vessel. But the vessel is on the Philippine waters. Klaro ha? Ang vessel is on Philippine waters. Therefore, for piracy under PD 532 to arise, it is necessary that the vessel is on Philippine waters. Timanisad, nga atong istoryahan diri is vessel or cargo. Wata nang istorya about resident vessel nga gipuy-an niya. Cargo or vessel ang atong istoryahan ani. Now, let us have an example. Pananglitan. Naanasay vessel. Dayon, nahitabo nga gikuha ang cargo or some properties or equipment of the vessel that was committed on high seas. High seas siya nahitabo. Now, kay high seas mo siya nahitabo, unsa imuhang i-apply? Since high seas mo nahitabo ang pagpanguha. Is it PD 532 or is it Article 122 of the Revised Penal Code? So, i-assess na nato. Place of commission. Klaro ta. Based on PD 532 nga committed lang siya by any person on the Philippine waters. Based on my example ni anak ko nga na-commit siya on high seas. Na-commit on high seas. Kisa ni-commit? Strangers. Strangers klaro na ko. Ani-commit? Strangers. Para ato ma-apply si 122. Now, ato yung anion. Atong tagaan o gamay nga kalibog. What if gilibog mo sa facts? Ing-ani ang nahitabo. Nahitabo nga pagpangawat sa vessel or sa cargo on high seas, high seas nahitabo. Kinsa ni commit? Members of the vessel. Members of the vessel. Karon, ato na sang balikon. Atong balikon. Kung yung tag high seas, asa ganina atong i-apply ang high seas 122. Kung pananglitan Philippine waters, atong i-apply PD 532. Dili sila to gamiton tong or. Ato sang gamiton karon ang 532 nga Philippine waters. Karon, kinsay ning commit? Members man of the complement. Sa 122, kinsay kinay mo commit ani? Stranger. So karon, nahitabo didto sa high seas. Ani-commit members. So di ka pwede mag-apply sa Article 122 of the Revised Penal Code. Why? Klaro man ang 122 nga ani mo commit kay strangers. Pero based on the facts that I have mentioned, nga ani commit ani is members of the complement. So dili pwede Klaro na ta. Di pwede si Article 122. Now, adto ta sa PD 532. Unsay element sa PD 532? Niana si PD 532 nga kinahanglan makumit siya on Philippine waters. Makumit siya sa Philippine waters. Karon, kinsa gani mo commit? Si members of the complement. Now, going back on my example, ni anak ko nga ang pag-commit sa pagpanguha sa cargo or sa any equipment of the vessel is gihimo ngadto sa high seas. High seas man. Nya, niingon ta sa PD 532, mahitabo Philippine waters raman. Pwede ta mo apply sa naay element nga usa. Kanang gitawag nato nga members of the complement. Pero nahitabo man sa high seas. Is PD 532 applicable? The answer is no. Why? Klaro man kayo ang PD 532 nga makomit lang siya sa Philippine waters. Unya amo commit si members of the complement. Ganiya sa piracy, kinahanglan makomit siya sa high seas or Philippine waters, and the person or the offender committed the crime is the kinsaman, the strangers. Now, usa itong i-apply. Di man pwede si PD 532, di sad pwede si 122. So the crime committed by the offender is robbery on an inhabited place. Klaro ta robbery on an inhabited place. So, with that, I hope you understand the difference between the three, between the so-called piracy, between the so-called mutiny and piracy as provided under PD 532. So, if you have questions, again, you may comment down below, or you can make a private message for your satisfaction. So, again, I hope you understand. Thank you, and God bless us all.